Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the Australian NASCAR Truck Series, brought to you by CT Electrical here at Daytona International Speedway. Last week, you've seen the drivers come out for the preseason thunder, but now it is officially time for the actual start of the season here at Daytona, the High Banks, the 2.5-mile racetrack. Joined next to me is Wesley Outland over there in North Carolina, probably getting ready to see some high-flying action, 3-4 wide, all the way around this racetrack. How are you doing out there, Mr. Wesley?
Good evening to everybody in Aussie land, mates and mateys. And yes, it is 4 o'clock in the morning, North Carolina, USA, Indiana time, where Dylan is as well. But, man, we're looking forward to this one. I love Daytona. I love the excitement. I love the trucks. Can't wait to be working with you this year. Look at this schedule. Look at what is up for grabs in the next, 15, 16 weeks of racing. We're going to have a blast. It's going to be fun. It's time to get it started. What a wild preseason showdown race we had last Thursday night for a preliminary. Now it is time to buckle up and get ready for the big one. Points on the line here at the Virtual World Center of Racing.
Qualifying is now done. Getting ready to bring up the starting lineup. Is going to be P number 1 is going to be Shane Bowen. Second is going to be Blaine Densley, running archers row number 1. Starting third is going to be Josh Micklemore in the number 31 and Joshua Houghton in the number 080. Row number 3 will be Tyler Williams for Vortex Sim Sports with Ethan Winter, Tuesday's night's winner in P number 6. Row number 4 is going to have Keith Hackney in the number 6 Nitro entry with Tom Freer in the number 41 starting P number 8. Rounding out your top 10 in 9th is going to be Tom Pritchard in the number 91 and Dave Oljanczak in the 311 for Nitro in P number 10.
Ready to watch what Dave-O will do. Row number 6 will find Ben Faulkner and Jason Holdsworth for Nitro and Team Vermillion. Row number 7, Fitzroy Beaumont. He was strong in the Xfinity race. He's got Ryan Barber to his outside as well. Row number 8 tonight, Sam Chapman for Vermillion Esports and Nitro Double D, Dave Douglas. Row number 8, row 9, Troy Davidson in the number 23 and Scott Rankin for Vortex. He starts 18th. Top 20 there, Dylan. We'll find Andy Barber and Riley Curtis also for Nitro, starting in row 10.
Row number 11 is going to be Chris Bleakley in the 21st and Chris Finley in P number 22. 23rd will be Trent Lavelle in the number 67 and Aaron Dorman in the 253. 25th and 26th is going to be Gary Wellman and Ross Armour. 27th and 28th is going to be Matt Danson and Brad Newman for Lobby Sports. 29th and 30th position is going to be Griffin Gardner and Timbo Blundell.
To the lineup, we'll find Q-Tay Dow, as well as Angus Lawford, Brian Blundell. Then it's going to be David Lawler, Brad Wright, Jacob O'Reilly, Jared Gilbert, Jamie Davis, the Chooch from Brandon Griffiths, Kelvin Clark, Ben Faulkner starting from pit road. That is the starting lineup for the trucks here at Daytona.
As you see there, Wes, everybody getting their buckled tight, getting ready to go to live action here. Daytona, 100 laps, stages this season for the Truck Race West. 20 laps the distance for stage 1, another 20 laps for stage 2. The final stage is going to be 60 laps to the checkered flag. Who are we going to see at the end of this 100-lap race get the first win of the season? It's going to be an awesome show here, but it's going to be the 38 and the 27 bringing us to the green flag. And everybody, we are racing for the first time in 2026 for the first points race paying season, and all the way down going into turns number 1 and 2. You already see the 27 getting a nice little shove by the 080 all the way up on that high side, but it looks like the bottom momentum still going to be able to keep up with that top shelf.
Give these guys about a lap to come to full song, but when they do, they will be blistering speeds. By the way, thank you to CT Electrical for sponsoring the Australian NASCAR Truck Series this year. Blaine Dinsley right now on the high side leads them. Bowen on the bottom. Halton, Micklemore will follow in tow. They're starting to come up to faster speeds, working out of turn 4 to complete lap 1.
You can see there, Wes, just a little bit of a bobble from that 080 on that high side. Got a little bit of left to right motion there. Already one lap complete. You can see everybody's still formed up where they want to be. We're not seeing what we saw last Thursday night. They know this is a long, grueling race. They're going to take their time. They don't want to push it where they don't need to be able to push it. But now, look, the 080 is going to back off the 27. The bottom, Shane Bowen, he's going to be able to get that nice little run on that inside to possibly get clear of that high side, but still going to be door-to-door going into turns number 3 and 4.
And it into that third turn now, side by side, stride for stride. Biggest movers already in 5 miles, and we got trouble. Caution on the racetrack here on lap number 2. It's the big one. Andy Barber is caught up in it. Everyone else is going high, going low to miss that one truck, and it looks like Andy Barber is going to be the lone wolf caught up in that accident there when everyone else got on the binders in turn number 4.
Yeah, a little bit of a different song here tonight. Last week, we didn't see our first caution until later in the race, but getting a nice little look. Oh, not sure what happened to the 194. Just kind of stopped right in the middle of turns number 3 and 4. Couple other trucks getting caught up in it. Looks like Riley Curtis being one of those drivers. No, I was wrong. The 86 being another one of those drivers, and everybody else stacking on in. Everybody trying to get on the binders, but these brakes, a little bit too cold, can't get stopped as quick as they want.
Yeah, my information showed only Barber, but also obviously the 86 of Brian Blundell got a piece of it. So did Chris Finley in the 104. Watch this again. Barber's sideways contact was made, and then those trucks nowhere to go, get collected from there. Look at this. Blundell just tags the back of the center of the 45 of Gary Wellman, and then some more trucks spinning down to the bottom of the apron there. Of course, no harm, no foul, no trucks really seriously damaged, except maybe 2. We're going to go on board now with Griffin Gardner, show you what he's seen.
Yeah, you can see there. Little bit of a nice little save by Griffin. He got that truck load down. As you can see it here from the back from Ross Armour, he's going to be able to get maybe slowed. Oh, right in the rear end. Well, Wes, this is a perfect time. If you need any memorabilia from the back of that truck that just lost the rear deck lid, going down to pit road, he'll have it autographed for $4.99. So might as well get down there, get your memorabilia from Daytona. And Wes, it's not even over. We've only made one consecutive lap. Can't wait to see what the rest of this race brings out for us.
I believe our reporter or one of our guys helping us out of the booth as always, Nigel Siddell, maybe saw a lot more of what happened there with Andy Barber. Nigel, you got your piece of what happened there on the racetrack.
Good evening, everyone. Yeah, what's happened there is I think Andy Barber's either had a hardware issue or internet problems there. He just dropped it like it was hot, and his RPMs dropped considerably very quickly. I'd say that there is a internet issue or a hardware issue.
Thank you for that update, obviously. A pit report presented by CT Electrical. And Dylan, there you go. There's a problem right there, right out of the gate. And you got to have a good connection. You know, basically losing signal is like having engine failure.
Oh, absolutely. Like, you definitely want to make sure everything's up to par. Obviously, it's not the end of the world for a lot of these drivers. You know, it happens super early in this race. They're able to get back in there, get that truck repaired, and just kind of log laps. They're not going to be up to par with everybody with a fresh truck, but they can still get into the session, get those laps maintained to get to the end of this race if they're able to, and then kind of walk away from Daytona with a kind of, okay, I got the most majority points as I can get. But next week you go into Echo Park, aka Atlanta, another little kind of a, I guess you could say, super speedway next week with the mile and a half as we get the CT Electrical Season 1 schedule up here on the screen. Echo Park next Thursday, 135 laps, February 26th. And Wes, I don't know about you, but these first 2 months have been going by pretty quick.
Yeah, I was telling Mr. Dean that last night, as a matter of fact, that we're moving in to the month of March and how fast the season's gone. Obviously, now we're back in the full swing of things with the Australian NASCAR Series for the Xfinity and obviously the trucks. And you know, Echo Park Speedway, listen, it's a lot like Daytona Talladega. So you got that super speedway atmosphere next Thursday night, next Tuesday night for that matter. Because remember, pretty much the same thing Xfinity does, the trucks do the following days after that. So there it is. There's the schedule. Looking forward to some races like Long Beach. That's going to be a fun one. Obviously, another one that comes to mind will be pretty much maybe, you know, Coda. And why I say that is they're road courses, right? Road courses, not many on the schedule, but I think they're going to have a lot of implications to do with how things will go for the guys that can turn left and right than just making left turns.
Absolutely. Definitely can't wait to see, you know, obviously with the road courses coming up in the early in the season, middle of the season, and in the playoffs, it can shake up a lot of different stuff. So, you know, you're going to have your dominant players that are good at short tracks, intermediates, longer super speedways, and you're going to have your dominant drivers that are mainly road courses. And that's where you're going to see a lot of give and take on those road courses. Who's really putting in all the work to get those road courses done? And, you know, can't wait to see what happens as we get ready to take the green flag for the first official restart of this race. Pace truck going around turns number 3 and 4. He's going to drop down low, hit that hard left-hand turn into pit lane. They're going to get all the way up to that restart zone, and Shane Bowen down on that inside is going to have the control of the field. But with it being a play track, Wes, you never want to get out to an early jump start lead. As Barney with the green flag, we are back to racing here at Daytona as it goes off the line. Getting through the gears once again. Not all the way up to full song, but give it about a lap or two, Wes, and we can see trucks approaching at least almost 1 mile an hour.
By the way, remember, stage number 1 will take us all the way to lap number 20. There is about 5 laps completed, 15 to go as we work the back straightaway. There's the race analysis of the trouble back straightaway. Truck just got turned, and the rest of the field piles in. Jason Holdsworth is one of them. Jared Gilbert is another. Everybody scatters higher, low to get back in gear and get back forward and riding. And the 237 also completed and caught up in it. A multi-truck crash on the super stretch. Gilbert, Holdsworth there, Dylan, getting the worst for wear just on the restart.
Oh, look at that big checkup down there on that inside lane. This is what we saw as we were going through those beautiful camera views brought to you by Dean Hopton. And, oh, man, Jason Holdsworth getting into Brad Newman on that outside, and then somebody come in there with the hard lunge to the rear end. But still, kind of looks like Cletus McFarland out there down to the inside. Only made it about 6 laps. No pun intended there. Sorry, Jason. Oh, you got Newman Man, oh man.
Champion Scott Danson and Newman there, Dylan.
Oh no. A lot of good trucks taken out in that wreck. Hopefully not a lot of damage to a lot of these trucks. Obviously, the one coming in there with the danger zone. Hopefully he's able to get it down. But here, taking a look on board of Jared Gilbert. We'll see what happens. Oh,
Damn.
hard. Man, oh man.
I don't know if you saw those Project 36 trucks there, but they were just going top to bottom, high, low. They were going everywhere. They were scattering you.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's like the movie Joe's Apartment when the lights cut on in the middle of the night and the roaches are all over the kitchen floor. The lights come on and they scatter all over the place. That's exactly what those trucks just did.
And that's exactly what kind of racing that we're going to see here at Daytona. Everybody's going to be scattering. And me personally, Wes, when I'm running Daytona, I'm always on that bottom lane because I want to get to the grass as soon as I possibly can.
Barber says, screen froze again. Existed Chase says, God, I'm so sorry, guys. My screen keeps freezing, and this is the second race at Daytona in a row. I can't even bear to watch it. But if I killed anyone, I'm so sorry. I never want that to happen to anyone ever again. Pit stops are going on. Another pit stop presented by CT Electrical. Let's go down to Nigel Siddell. Nigel, what's going on?
Just not much at the moment, to be honest. Just watching them all go down pit lane. I think what's happened, there was just a big massive check-up there that happened down the back straight away with Jason Holdsworth. I think the pack wasn't going to the speed of what he was, and then all of a sudden the check-up happened. It's unfortunate for the 8 car and a few others, but I'm sure there'll be a bit of damage to fix there, and they'll be all back out there.
The thing is, Dylan, remember this series, there is no fast repair, so you're on the damage clock. You're taking time to fix repairs unless you're really, really badly torn up and out of it. But all the while, look at this, man. We're not even 8 laps completed of this race in stage 1. There's already 9 trucks or 10 that are on the pit lane having repairs being done.
Yeah, you can see there with the Wrench Wranglers, Ben Faulkner, Brian Blundell, Gary Wollman, Chris Finley, Ross Armour, Ryan Barber, Matt Danson, Chris Bleakley, and Brandon Chooch Griffith, all having damage, with the most damage being on Ben Faulkner's with 1 minute and 56 seconds of damage repair. So a lot of these drivers are going to sit in the pit lane. A lot of these drivers, Wes, in that minute and 56 seconds, they can get that damage completely fixed. You'd be surprised how long it takes these cars to get, trucks, to get all the way around Daytona Superspeedway under pacing. So they're not out of it by any means. If they can get that time knocked down all the way down to 0, great. But what do broadcasters always say whenever we get to any type of racetrack? Cautions will always breed cautions. And so far, out of the first 8 laps, that has been the strong remedy here for the first stage.
Well, there's Blaine Dinsley, and there's a graph, if you will, showing his success of where he's at so far. He led 4 laps. Most farthest he fell back was to 2nd. He's been consistency up on row number 1. Hey, by the way, Australian NASCAR is your way to keep up with everything going on social media. Check out the official Facebook page. Give it a like and a follow. And I will let you know that the Highline Facebook page is currently down. But if you do go to Australian NASCAR, you can click on the link to watch the broadcast. We do apologize for the inconvenience if you're not able to watch it on the Facebook channel. Yeah, we got put in Facebook jail, if you remember, the other night. Appeals have been filed. Appeals have been filed to to hopefully get that page back over. So we're on X. What is X? What is y'all's chat handle on X? And it's live on X on the X. Wow. Okay, formerly Twitter.
Driver getting ready to come around to take the green flag once again. And Wes, when we go back to green flag, there's going to be 11 laps to go in the stage number 1. You're going to see drivers come down, get some tires, possibly. Fill that truck full of fuel and get back out there for stage number 2. 20-lap increments till the final stage. 60 laps to find who's going to be our first race winner of the season. But into the restart zone we go. Green flag back on out. Everybody going to try to jockey for position. Have to take the time, get acclimated to everybody around them. They had a full week to get acquainted with each other. But so far, it looks like nobody really wants to be up in that high line. But Ethan Winter makes that drop to that outside lane to help push Josh Micklemore all the way back up to the front row if he can. Are we going to see a little bit of three wide early in the going? No, not yet. But they're kind of fanning out like they want to make that move.
Right away now. Hopefully these guys can play nice and work their way to the end of stage number 1. All the while, the field rumbles into turn number 3 and 4, down to the inside. Williams, Micklemore, Dinsley, all right there. Single file, first top 3 down below. And here comes Ethan Winter, the winner on Daytona Xfinity on Tuesday night. Working now, trying to go to the leaders, heading into 1.
Yeah, he's looking to double down here at Daytona, as he's currently running in the 5th position right behind Josh Micklemore on that outside lane. The outside lane, Wes, you can see there, they're more organized as one driver drops below the yellow line to kind of get out of that mess. He feels like there's going to be an accident. He wants to get away from it as quickly as possible, as already you see there 2 by 2, 6-7 rows all the way through, as everybody's still trying to jockey for position, get in that sweet spot where they want to be here coming to the end of the stage number 1.
Working through the tri-oval, back to start finish. By the way, this time by lap 11 on the board. Under 9 remaining, or under 10 now left to go here in stage number 1. Side by side. You'll notice there's a pack there, a big separation. Here comes that first group of trucks, and I'm not sure how that happened there, Dylan, but you see a wad of trucks up in the front. There's a couple of singles by themselves, and then there's another pack, and then there's another couple of singlets. This has really happened during that last restart, and they have really lost the front row, if you will.
Yeah, absolutely. That's actually pretty weird. You know, last week, Wes, we've seen everybody kind of conjoined all together, kind of being patient, but not too many packs all the way in and through the field last week. But this week, completely different song. You may be seeing some drivers getting back to teammates, just want to be with them, be more content. The wrecks are going to come wherever they are. You know, do you want to be in the mist? Do you want to be in front of it, behind it, wherever the case may be? But I can tell you this, though, Wes, if we didn't have the stages, I could see that second pack, even maybe the third pack, collectively being one pack and catching this front pack again. But so far, Tom Freer up to P number 3, trying to stay in the trying to stay in that top 3 to get some good stage points here, as top lane kind of incinerating on that high side. Probably going to have to fall in line and work up another run as Tom Freer goes back to the outside.
Turner had a pretty good run there, of course, in the number 41 entry. And he's got the push from Tyler Williams, trying to get that outside lane to work. It says got draft. What you looking at? Gotta call him the hot dog entry there of Josh Paul.
First like he says got draft, and now it's all about what you're looking at. Beautiful camera angle there by Dean, as no pun intended. What you're looking at is finally that outside lane getting some momentum, but now look, 3 wide across the finish line, and the sucker hole is where Tom Freer has just gotten stuck.
You saw this in the Xfinity race on Australian NASCAR on Highline on Tuesday night. And I think we'll see it again here as they move into those final laps of the stages. People will start getting greedy. They'll get antsy. They'll start making some moves because remember, Inslee got a tag there on the inside. Got a little push and got really loose there from Houghton. And now we're 3 wide. Up the middle is Ben Faulkner. He's behind the winner and the 99 of Williams as they come to the line.
Now remember, Ben Faulkner actually had a little bit of damage on pit road. He's going to go from the middle down to the inside. Now we're 3 wide, 3 wide, 3 rows deep as the leader has to make his truck kind of as wide as he can to keep the race lead as Ethan Winter almost got collected as Mickelmore goes up and brushes the wall just a little bit. We're supposed to give him just a little bit of a kiss to see if that safety barrier is really going to work. You see there, the 194, he's going to drop down, get out of there, and now Ethan Winter going to be stuck in that starter hole as the Nitro drivers go up to P number 1 and P number 2 and 3.
Yeah, Olenicak there was also right there. Dave O put him in the lead. Olenicak in the top spot. There he goes in the 311. Gets around. Hackney, a couple of U.S. guys that are running the Australian NASCAR Series this year. Almost 3 o'clock in the morning their time. And right now, Dave O leads them on the high side before to go in stage 1.
You know, all 3 Nitro entries up there in the top 3. Dave O with the lead. Keith Hackney from Calhoun, Georgia, in P number 2 with Dave Douglas, Double D, in P number 3. But here comes Ethan Winter down on that inside. He's got the number 28 strong behind him. And look at the run, Wes, on that inside. Where did that run come from? As now they're going to go up to the middle. Try to block it just in case there is a little bit of a run. But Ben Faulkner says, nah. We're going to put him in the middle. Here we go. Dave O still with the race lead. Keith Hackney clear for P2. Do they stay high? Do they go low? Hackney goes low.
Olenicak will stay up there on that outside lane. It looks like he's pushed up top. Got no friends, but now finally, Keith Hackney, the Georgia boy, will join Team USA. It's like a battle of the Olympics between USA and Australia. It's Hackney. It's Dave O. Dave Douglas. Ethan Winter. Coming to 2 to go in stage number 1 here in Daytona out of 4.
Last week, we seen the number 6 of Keith Hackney win both stages. Just didn't get the right run to win the race. But Keith Hackney, no stranger to victory lane in the official races on iRacing service. He's back up to the front with tunnel vision on the back of that truck. As it says, Team on Love with the TNL, but Keith Hackney leading the way, running all the way up against that wall. I don't think he could fit a piece of paper between himself and the outside wall.
Oh, it's Hackney. Olenicak right there up on the top. He's staying locked up against the safer barrier. Dave Douglas will now join them. Here comes Winter. He'll power to the inside with Dinsley and Faulkner. Houghton, they're pushing. Coming to the line. 1 to go now in stage number 1. Remember, at the end of 50 miles, we will see a caution.
We're coming up on lap traffic here. He's going to stay down on that yellow line. Everybody's going to have to move up 1 lane, but they're going to be able to get through there nice and cleanly. Final lap of stage number 1. It's going to be Keith Hackney in first, Olenicak in second, Dave Douglas in third. But that high side west, big run, top 5, all single file on that outside lane. Is Keith Hackney going to be able to take away stage number 1 and get the first stage win of the season? He's going to go low. He's going to stay on that inside lane. It's going to be Keith Hackney possibly getting stage 1 win here tonight, as everybody's going to come across the line. And what a brilliant stage 1 finish.
Yeah, what a job there by Hackney. Olenicak I think he finally said, Dave-O, stay behind me. Let's just push each other for the end of the stage. You get 10 points, I'll get 9. And the Aussies will settle for third on back as we go to the end of stage number 1. Caution is out. 50 miles in with 20 laps completed.
You know, I'm kind of disappointed in Keith Hackney. I was getting accustomed to looking at Miss Piggy last week, and now he comes out with an Army Green Nitro Racing scheme. I'm kind of upset. It kind of hurt my feelings. I really like the chrome numbers with the white paint, Miss Piggy on the side, and all that. Now we get to look at another beautiful paint by Mr. Keith Hackney.
To look at the Army colors on the Georgia boy for Keith Hackney and the Nitro entry. So this race now gets its third yellow flag, 2 for on-track accidents in the first 20 laps, 50 miles of stage number 1. We are in stage 2. It'll be another 20-lap shootout in stage 2 here, and then they'll set them up for a 60-lap battle for 150 miles. And there is, again, the stage 1 winner. First one of the year. Got the plane there. Yes, sir. The Calhoun, Georgia driver. That is Keith Hackney winning stage number 1. I love that. It looks like one of them old World War II planes right there.
If anybody out there in the chat that knows what kind of plane that is on the side of Keith Hackney's number 6 machine, let us know in the comment section. I don't even know. It looks familiar. I just can't remember it.
Aren't they called Warhawks or something like that?
I know.
I think fighter aircraft, maybe. Yeah, fighter aircraft, maybe. Airplane. I'm trying to think of it. Grasshopper.
Everybody going to come down into pit lane this time by get some fuel in that truck for stage number 2. And looking at the race recap so far here, Wes, 23 laps out of 100. Leader now is Joshua Houghton.
Warbirds. That's what they were called. Warbirds back in the day.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Warbirds, Hellcat, whatever. Yeah. Sorry, Dylan. I was having a moment, a squirrel moment about these planes. My bad.
No, you're all right. But, you know, looking at the race recap as of so far right now, you know, 3 cautions for 8 laps, 5 different lead changes. So we had 5 lead changes all in stage 1. Could we double and say 10 lead changes for stage number 2? As we look at the last pit stop info, it looks like everybody's taking fuel only, some 2-tire stops. I would say they would be right side tires for a lot of these drivers. As nobody, Scott Rankin jumped, or no, last pit, 15, so... Okay. Yeah, so some drivers not electing to go down their pit lane, so maybe they'll be able to survive 40 laps with these cautions. It's going to be a little bit easier to save a little bit more fuel. Also, being in the draft, Wes, you know, you don't have to be full throttle 100% of the time. Once you're behind somebody, you can kind of run 3/4 throttle, maybe half throttle, getting enough fuel saved all the way in and through the high banks of Daytona. As we look at the hot dog, Joshua Houghton, in that 080 machine with such a beautiful dog on the hood of that Ford F-150.
Publicity there. Hot dogging, if you will. Get right in the lead as we move into stage number 2. Hey, by the way, to answer the question that we were talking about with Hackney's truck and the World War II airplane, some of the popular airplane iconic aircraft from back in the World War II days featuring fighters included the P-51 Mustang, the submarine Spitfire, Spitfire, and the Mitsubishi Zero, along with bombers such as the B-17 bomber, Flying Fortress, and the Avro Lancaster. There you go. Just some of the planes. There you go. So. Let's get another pit report presented by CT Electrical. Nigel, you're taking the first stage, and anything you've been watching interesting on the pit lane as we get ready to set them up for a restart?
I think the biggest thing we could watch so far is that going 3 wide here with that amount of cars, and those cars on the outside, those nitro cars, are fast tonight on that outside. So those guys on the inside will have to start working together a little bit more. If they don't start working together, those cars on the outside will clear them at some stage, and then we'll make easy work of the victory the way they got those cars set up tonight. Also, too, it's a good chance for that stage as well for Jason Holdsworth to get his damage fixed. Matt Danson and Brad Newman also had damage they could get fixed on those cars. And also Brenton Cooch-Griffith for Project 36. His damage is now fixed.
There you go. That update presented by CT Electrical. And by the way, Joshua Houghton, Dylan, is not the only driver that drives their truck with an animal on it. Our Nigel Siddell has driven with a cow on his race car or race truck as well.
And a
for
deer.
The dairy farmer.
And a deer. Can't forget about the deer. Last Thursday, Mr. Nigel Siddell had the beautiful John Deere Nitro paint scheme. Had the deer on the side of his. I've noticed maybe Keith Hackney had, I guess you could say it's an animal, even though it's a Muppet, but it's a pig. Miss Piggy on his. I can't remember if anybody else, but green flag is going to be coming back out here across the start stage number 2. And look at the big jump on that inside lane. James Houghton, or Joshua Houghton, gets a nice little jump on the inside. He's going to have the number 59 of Rankin and the 101 of Chapman. Going to be battling for the P number 1 and P number 2 as the inside lane getting wound up here is already, you can see it, a little bit of a mess towards the back there, Wes.
With a great launch on the restart, pulling up in front of Chapman. Chapman now losing a couple of spots because there goes Scott Rankin up on the outside of the safer barrier. He's got friends with the help of Blakely in that number 22 machine, pushing, shoving, middle lane. Faulkner again in the middle, 3 wide as they work their way coming back to the stripe.
You know, this place always reminds me of the song, I Got Friends in Low Places. Well, a lot of these drivers are going to be up on that high side, so you're going to have friends in high places. As 3 wide, you've seen that move going from the top all the way down to the bottom. Dave Douglas stuck right in the middle, pushing Ben Faulkner all over that back bumper. He doesn't want to be up on his bumper too long. Doesn't want to get those engine temps really hot as we go 3 wide, 3 abreast for 3 rows deep, as all over the back bumper of Scott Rankin goes Ben Faulkner.
A 3x3x3 and look at Georgia Boy Stage 1 winner Keith Hackney for ninth row right down on the inside. Got help from Micklemore, Dave Douglas, and all the while the top 4 now pulled away. Houghton, Chapman, Dave-O, Blakely, Beaumont all stay locked to the double yellow line, and they start to pull away from the rest of the pack. Down on the inside as they work into turn 2.
Yeah, look at that already. Keith Hackney going from the bottom all the way up to the top. He's on a mission. He's a man on the mission. He picked up Josh Micklemore. He's got Dave Douglas behind him. Dave-O going for the lead. What you looking at? I'm looking at the number 311 on the outside going around, trying to lead another lap here at Daytona. He's not going to be able to get clear maybe off of turns number 3 and 4. He is going to be able to. He's going to stay up high, though, as Keith Hackney. 1 more truck behind, and now you got Keith Hackney leading that top lane, but they're going to be forced 3 wide as now Hackney stuck in the middle. He's got 2 trucks in front of him, now 1, as Micklemore going to be up there with him. Dave Douglas in tow as 4 Nitro drivers nose to tail.
Dave-O now in the middle as they're going to try to split them 3 wide. Look at this move down on the inside. Blakely now up top side trying to get that 3rd line worked. The white and black Toyota, here he comes. Getting closer Keep an eye on Blaine Bentley with Ethan Winter and Williams, and pushing, shoving, pushing it to the limit as they work off of turn 4. Coming to the line, Dave-O, USA right back there in front. Dave-O and Hackney down into turn number 1. It might be 4:30 in the morning, but these guys act like it's 8 o'clock at night Aussie time, and they're showing what they got here in their prowess.
There you see there, Josh Micklemore now is going to be right behind it. Dave-O as Keith Hackney went down low. It's in front of Dave-O, but here comes, Keith Hackney had to hurry up, get back down to the inside. So ain't nothing happening. There we go. Dave Douglas. Going
caution yet, guys.
Caution. There it is.
They had no choice. They had no choice but to throw the yellow flag in, because I thought Dave Douglas was going to put his Nitro 10 down below the double yellow line on the bottom of the apron, but then whenever he pulled back up into the racing groove, then they had to throw the yellow flag because he was pulling up into that inside bottom lane, and that's why the yellow flag was showed. Caution out. Single truck accident. Dave Douglas, Nitro on the back straightaway. Here's a look at it again. Couple of trucks are all scattering, but it's the 10 worse for wear there, Dylan, as they work the back straightaway again here on lap number 29.
I think what really happened was that move right there by Keith Hackney coming back up the racetrack. That caused the accordion effect. Everybody checking up. The 28 didn't realize the checkup right in time. Ben Faulkner is going to get in the 10 of Dave Douglas. 16 is going to get involved. Not a lot of damage for a lot of these trucks, but already the 10 missing the rear deck or rear bumper as the 93 Riley Curtis almost gave that front bumper a little bit of a kiss to that number 10 of Double D.
Fast is it? Look at this. Bounced it off of the drivers of Faulkner and Beaumont. And then all of a sudden, back up in the racing group in reverse in front of Riley Curtis from another angle. Watch it one more time. Bicycles through the air on the right side of his truck. 16 going high, way below the apron. So do other trucks scattering. And then watch up ahead right about now. There it is, Riley Curtis. And then everybody going down, moving to the inside. One of the Project 36 trucks making a quick evasive move to miss the 10 and Curtis. By that time, the caution was out. Everybody got slowed up from there.
Yeah, luckily when Riley Curtis came to a complete stop, everybody was already paying attention. I'm pretty sure the radios were lighting up. We can ask Nigel just before they get ready to go down into pit lane. Nigel, gotta know, did you hear the radios lighting up saying check up wrecking on the back stretch? Was everybody kind of keeping their calm, staying focused, seeing where the wreck was happening?
Radio is pretty quiet here tonight so far. There's been no chatter on there at all, but pit stops are happening at the moment. These guys will be going down pit lane. It's still a 2-stop race, so these guys will be going down pit road now. Hopefully with the stage coming up, they may stay out here and go for track position after stage 2.
Nigel, for these guys that are pitting, what is the consensus? Is it just fuel only? I'm not really seeing a lot of tire changing being done right now.
There is one car down there changing tyres there at the moment, just behind the 4 car. I don't think there'll be too much. It'll be only just fuel at the moment trying to get through. This will take them through to about lap 65 on fuel, which will give them one more stop to the end. So it'll be interesting to see how this strategy starts to play out. But at the moment, these guys are looking for track positions at the start of stage 2.
Understanding all the Project 36 was the drivers that pretty much came down to the pit lane now on pit exit. Under caution for the 4th time, 3rd for an on-track accident. Not counting the first one also at the end of 50 miles on lap 20 in stage number 1. There is some of the last pit stop info. We're thinking some of them took tires, maybe fuel or more. Maybe Nigel can give us more of a confirmation on that.
Some did take tires, some didn't take tires at that stop there. I think majority of these would just be purely fuel only.
You know, Dylan, Daytona is one of those places where, and we saw it in the Xfinity race on Tuesday when Nigel and I were in the booth calling it that Ethan Winter won here in round 1, where they really didn't do a lot of pit stops involving tires. It was more or less just keeping the tanks filled up, and Obviously, a truck is very different than an Xfinity car. But with that being said, I mean, the strategy of trying to hold on to your same set of tires, that's paramount right now if you can do that, or at least try to go to the end of stage 2 and then get a new set of fresh tires for that final 150 miles of the race coming up here in about 9 laps.
Yeah, and whenever I get down on Daytona and I'm actually racing, my mindset, especially with the super speedway, you're not going to be burning a lot of tire unless you spin, get spun, you lock them up trying to get into pit lane, or trying to lock them up or get woed down to miss a wreck. So my mindset when I go into pitting at a super speedway, I won't use any sets of tires till I get ready to start the final stage. So keep those tires, use those tires as long as you possibly can. They're not going to be worn as worn as you would really think. So keeping that extra set of tires in the bag, it's kind of good, kind of bad, kind of looks, you definitely want to do it under caution. You don't want to have a green flag pit stop where you got to take 4 fresh tires or maybe even possibly 2. So me personally, I would not take tires till the end of stage 2 when it's caution. You're not going to lose a lot of spots. Just if you end up having the green flag pit stops, that's whenever you do your splash and go.
Look at this! Look at this heart monitor on Chris Bleakley. That's a very nice way of saying it. Looks like an EKG machine inside your local hospital, and it actually does look like it's got a lot of up and down moments for sure. Highest was 2nd, lowest was 38th, and right now sitting in the top 5 there, Dylan, as we'll get ready to bring him back for a restart, buddy.
Looking at Densley and Winter right now with the top spots on the front row. Densley going to lead us back to the green flag as Barney waves it one more time. We got 8 left to go in stage number 2. Ethan Winter has Keith Hackney all over his back bumper. But that top lane is definitely going to be the lane that they want to be in, as now Ethan Winter kind of negotiating which lane he wants to be content running the outside. They got the majority of the traffic, but he's got his teammate down there, Scott Rankin, up there in the top 5. Keith Hackney, one of the only 2 Americans, as Dave O follows him up top shelf, 3 wide, going into turn number 3 and 4. Give the race lead still to Densley, but here comes Williams as everybody get ready to go, but we're back on our yellow flag conditions.
Caution out again. Got one in the grass, guys. Got one driving in reverse as well. That's going to be the drivers of Kelvin Clark in the 777, and then the 237 down at the bottom of the racetrack that you just saw a mention of a moment ago. And that is the driver of Jared Gilbert. Again, Gilbert caught up in something. Here goes the replay. That's the 38. Oh boy, there it is. The truck there was the 38 of Shane Bowen. And then from there on there, Dylan, everybody's checking up behind, and yeah, you're going northbound in a southbound lane. Watch this again.
Oh, looks like
Going into Kute Dow there, I believe it is. Kute Dow, and then the other one, Scatter. Brad Newman, a part of another accident there too, Dylan, right in the middle of the Lobs Esports, number 1. Rear going around, the 777 on the fence. And, normally you don't bump draft like that in the middle of the corners. They always say that's a no-no there in racing, Dylan.
Yeah, you never want to get offset, especially going into the corner. And, everybody's still trying to get up to speed. You can see there all the Project 36 trucks all the way back here in the back, just kind of riding, taking their time as everybody takes evasive maneuvers trying to get around, make sure they don't get involved. But, with Brad Newman having that majority of a run going into the corner, I think what would have been the smart play there for the number 1 machine to keep this race green, just lift. Lift is still early at stage 2. Just stay behind him. Help Shane Bowen get up there towards that second group in the middle. And put yourself in a prime position to possibly take the race lead as, oh, man, heavy contact for Kelvin Clark in that 777.
Top 5.
So you got an update for us, buddy? Any up developments or anything we're watching?
Just looking at that accident then, the middle lane was open for the one car to go up, so just an unfortunate error there on everyone's part, but the gap there was open as we see cars go down pit road once again. Tom Freer, Shane Bowen, Scott Rankin, Jason Hodsworth, Dave Douglas, Chris Finley, Griffin Gardner, Kute Dower, Angus Lawford, David Lawler, Jared Gilbert and Kelvin Clark and Brendan Cooch all making their trip down pit lane to get a few either repairs or just top it up with fuel.
By the way, thanks again to CT Electrical for sponsoring the Australian NASCAR Truck Series. Don't forget, next week we head to Echo Park Speedway. NASCAR for real is at Atlanta this weekend. Next Tuesday and Thursday, we will be at Echo Park. And Dylan, it's kind of the shades of the same racing we're seeing here. A little bit different, but it does have that super speedway-esque atmosphere, if you will.
Oh, yeah. So here at Daytona, a lot of the drivers are going to be wide open 100% of the time. The only time that you'll ever see these drivers not wide open is going to be A, under pace laps, B, in going into pit lane, and then C, whenever they're getting in the draft, they don't want to be hitting the back bumper of somebody else going through the corners and down the backstretch. Echo Park, you're going to be doing a lot more lifting than what you think. You want to save that right front tire. You burn that right front tire off going into the corners, you're going to be SOL, so to speak. So check for a lot of drivers. Check it up just a little bit. And then you're still going to have the awesome 3-wide racing. You're going to have the red line down at the bottom where you can't cut below, possibly. But still, going to be an action-packed race next week at Echo Park.
Be a good one. Australian NASCAR, by the way, on social media, if you'd like to know more information. Of course, hit that like, subscribe, and follow. Hit that bell to keep up with the coverage on Highline. We appreciate it very well whenever you hit that bell. When you hit the bell, there you go. Okay, we got enough sound effects now. Like, subscribe, hit the bell. When you hit that bell, as I was going to say, you will literally get notifications 30 minutes before we go live at the top of the hour. And then, of course, when we're live for coverage. Don't miss a lap of the action of Australian NASCAR or Highline's broadcast coverage with more streaming to follow very soon. Ryan Barber chiming in, Dylan, and he says, I barely got through. Ryan Barber, by the way, his brother Andy, all-time starter of Australian NASCAR competition. Tonight is career start number 177.
It's actually very beautiful that there's a lot of drivers out here that have been here since day one. So thank you, Nigel, and all the admins out here for the Australian NASCAR and Truck Series for bringing the action-packed every single week. I was blessed to be a part of the series as well a couple years ago in the Truck Series, but more on that here as we get back to green the flag racing. The two Americans on that outside. Oh, big check! Looks like somebody missed a shift. Not sure what's going on. I believe there was a 080 that might have missed a shift. I know it was a white truck, missed a shift right in the middle of the racetrack and caused a big accordion effect. But Fitzroy Beaumont in the number 16 getting the worst end of it.
Watch this again. Cautions, breed cautions. Look at that. Oh, hot and checked up, and then nowhere to go for Fitzroy Beaumont. Everyone else dropping down from the racing group to the inside. There's Blundell again. Oh, my. Remember, that's Brian Blundell. Timo Blundell won the preliminary the other week in the, I believe it was the Xfinity Series race at Daytona. Watch the replay. Listen to the RPMs here. Coming to the restart box. I mean, he went from 7,000 to 4,000. There was a big change. You didn't see it on the RPM gauge? Nigel, you want to add anything more to this? What do you think you saw, buddy, for another pit report?
It looks like there's either something's wrong with the gearbox on this car, I'm imagining, as there, or another hardware issue, I believe, on the 080. That's what I can see so far. Something drops out completely on that car, and definitely not intentional. That's just I think it's a hardware issue.
Dean, go back on board on the cockpit of Houghton's truck, Joshua Houghton, and watch it go from like 8,000 RPMs down to 4. I mean, I'm seeing it 49, 57, 50, 67, 69. Watch it drop. Look at that. Bam. That's the lift. You go from 8,000 RPMs to 3,000 that fast in the lift. I don't know if I agree with that, guys. I'm sorry. They're on pit road, Dylan. Nigel, they're on pit road, buddy.
Going down pit road at the moment. This is the end of the stage as well, so this is the stage break for stage 2, so they'll be going down there and getting their fuel, put some tyres on there. And what I was saying just before, guys, is that those that went down pit road earlier would have to spend less time on pit road, which will be able to get good track position for going to stage 2. As we can see, guys like Tyler Williams and Matt Danson head straight to the front. The stage winner will be, just give me a minute, guys.
Well, while Nigel figures that on out, looking at the race leader as of right now, that's going to be the number 99 of Tyler Williams. As Tyler Danson, Matt Danson, sorry about that, everybody. Matt Danson is in P number 2. And, well, Wes, you know, we talked about the EKG earlier. Matt Danson's currently on the track of getting that EKG now.
Yeah, up and down, up and down. How about it for the Australian NASCAR Championship Series champion of last year? And don't forget, there's going to be an all-star chase. I think we got an update on the stage winner. Back down the pit road and Nigel Siddell. Nigel, what you got?
It's unofficial at the moment, but I believe it's the 27 of Blaine Densley.
Yeah, I'm looking back at replay before the last caution, and it was showing Blaine Densley up in front. So obviously the caution will end the stage, even though they're on lap number 40 now, next time by. So yeah, this is going to end under caution, but the last time they were in front was Blaine Densley. So Blaine Densley will be awarded the stage winner. Yeah, the lights are off, but they're already in stage 3 right now here. So Dylan, we're coming back to green, but again, Blaine Densley's going to be awarded the stage win for stage 2.
Yeah, I believe Blaine Densley miles ahead of everybody there.
Yep, see it?
Yep.
Yeah, there he is. Yep.
So I was going to go to Blaine Densley, and then I believe the car down on the inside in third ended up getting second, and then Keith Hackney finishing P number 3 for stage number 2. So Keith Hackney not going to be able to go back-to-back on stage wins like he did last week, but still strong stage points for that number 6.
Set up your restart now for the final 150 miles. Exactly when they come to the green flag, it'll be 40 laps completed, 60 to go, 10 to halfway, by the way. It's going to be Tyler Williams ready to bring us back to green. Matt Danson on the outside. Scott Rankin, Josh Mickelmore, Keith Hackney, Blaine Densley. By the way, row 3 is your stage 1 and stage 2 winners. Dave O, Chris Bleakley, Joshua Houghton, Gary Wellman, the top 10. Some other drivers, Norman 11th, Newman 12th. I believe that's Ross Armour in 13th, Trent Lavelle, and Shane Bowen, top 15. Lights off on the pace truck, Dylan. We are coming back to green, 60 to go, 150 miles in the opening race here in Daytona for the trucks.
Getting ready to come down to the official restart zone. Green flag back on out. See how well this restart goes for a lot of these drivers. It's already a caution off the rip. Let's see exactly what happens here. Does it look like a clean start?
No, what's happened is there's been a technical issue with this, with technical. Sorry, guys, I've just got a lot going on in my ears at the moment. There's a technical issue with the up and race control with the software, and so this is just. Yeah.
So this is a official's caution, if you will. The Australian NASCAR officials are calling for a yellow flag. There's something going on a glitch or something that they're trying to work on, and because of that, they have threw the yellow flag to re-rack and restack the field. Dylan, it could be a number of things. It could be something going on with the timing and scoring. It could be maybe the lineup is not corrected. Maybe a driver should have got a lap back that didn't, or a driver got lapped that didn't needed to get lapped. So there's a number of things that they wanted to do here to fix. Obviously, it looked like it was going to be a good restart, and then as quickly as they went back to green, they put it quickly under yellow.
Absolutely. You can see everybody. As soon as that yellow flag comes out, you can tell who just lets go of the gas and just checks up. Instead of kind of just breathing off the throttle just a little bit, just in case if they didn't want to get rear-ended. But still, nobody were going to get rear-ended. It's everybody's going to have to go all the way back around the racetrack, 2.5 miles, to check up with the pace truck as we get on board. Look, Tyler Williams all by himself.
Way ahead of everybody.
He's going all the way around to catch the official iRacing pace truck.
No, Nigel. And Nigel, if you want to add more to that right there, I would probably slow down, wouldn't you? Because you're burning your fuel up really a lot whenever you're just kind of making fast paces around this place, even if you're by yourself for the moment.
There's a little bit going on behind the scenes, getting everyone caught back up again, so they're probably just all trying to catch up. But once they catch up, everyone will be trying to save as much fuel as they can. This will be one more stop race.
So one-stop race, Wes, as we got the definitive answer there from Nigel Siddell. With it being a one-stop race, Wes, and everything, we'll go back to green on lap 44, 45, give or take. There's 100 laps. Are you going to cut this in half, get up to, let's say, 65, 70 laps, go in a pit lane, get you a group to go in, or are you going to try to stretch it as long as you possibly can go to have just like a nice little 20-lap runish, give or take, if you can make it to lap 80?
I think you're probably going to stretch the run, right? We're seeing some guys come back in on pit road, taking advantage of this caution again, filling up the tanks. Maybe some of them are taking new tires if they didn't change tires earlier at the end of that second stage, when it happened prematurely when the caution come out. But I for the most part, come in, top off. Every advantage you get on another guy is going to put you in a position, because I'll be honest with you, Dylan, I don't think we're done with the cautions. I think it's gonna get ratcheted even more before we get to the end of this race. So yeah, man, take advantage, come down pit road, top off the tanks, stay out there as much as you can. And if there is a long green flag run, I just don't see them coming down pit road until probably 15 laps to go, and that could be under green flag pit stops also.
Yeah, I can see a lot of these race teams going up to somewhere in Daytona, Florida, buying all the Bondo, all the 200-mile-an-hour duct tape, all the ratchet straps, all the bungee cords, everything, trying to hold these trucks together in one piece to get this race all the way in and through. Again, 44 out of 100 laps are complete. We are 6 laps away from our halfway point of this 100-lap race here tonight. And looking at the biggest movers as of right now, Matt Danson up 25 positions, up to P number 2. Brad Newman up 18. Gary Wellman up 16 positions. And then everybody else follows in suit on that. As we get a nice little look of that blue and yellow Altus number. Oh, get the look at the Altus.
Just a quick one before we just from down in pit lane is that we've only got just over 1 hour left in the session as well, so maybe 1 to 2 more cautions, and then this will turn into a timed race.
Wow.
Oh.
Yeah, because sim time's only an hour and 55 minutes, guys. We just struck 1 hour completed. Can they get less than 55 laps done, 56 laps done in 55 minutes? That's going to be testable right there. And I bet you, no doubt, Dylan, race directors, race control are telling them, listen, guys, we're down to like 55 minutes left here. If you guys want to finish this race, it's time to ship up or ship out. Bottom line here, come into green.
Absolutely. That's what a lot of race directors are going to be doing. It's like, hey, look, if you guys want to finish out this race, kind of form a line, get acquainted, let bygones be bygones. Let's get some green flag laps in. Let's see some green flag pit stops. We know we can run these green flag laps. We've seen it last week. We got a little bit of green flag pit stops in last week. Pace truck going to take that hard left into pit lane. It's going to be Williams and Danson bringing us back to the green flag. We are back to racing here at Daytona as everybody going to try to get up to speed nice and easily. Matt Danson leading that outside lane, but here comes Scott Rankin and the number 59 machine down to that inside. Top 2 have broke away.
We need a lengthy green flag run, no doubt about it, but the old cliche, cautions, precautions. Hopefully that will now become null and void. These guys want to finish this race. An hour, 1 minute, 34 seconds on the clock right now. 56 to go into turn 3. Couple of Toyotas at Williams ranking. And right there, nose to tail. Here comes a big push. Australian NASCAR champion. Look at this now. Matt Danson in the middle lane will push by Michael out of 4.
Keith Hackney down on the inside. Did not want to help that outside lane. He's going to use that inside lane to his advantage. There he goes. He's going to make the pass for P number 3. Not going to be able to get clear of Matt Danson. Matt Danson, big push by Josh Micklemore. He's going to send him all the way up to P number 2. He's going to drop back down to 3rd. But here comes that 3rd lane all by himself. Nobody to help. And then you got Brad Newman going from the top back down to the middle in bottom lane. All the way good to go as of right now. Top lane starting to form.
In the middle, Austin Micklemore hung out to dry. It's Joshua Harden. He's got to wait for David about 6 car lengths back to push him in the middle from the top. He's not going to get there. Look at him squeezed in. It's Danson down to the lead as they come to the line with 54 to go in Daytona.
Oh, such a dangerous move there, playing with fire. Micklemore able to get in front of Scott Rankin, Tyler Williams. Easily could have been a disastrous call there, but now Brad Newman's got the clean air. Micklemore and Bad Brad trading a little bit of paint. Whoa. Lot of checkups here. Everybody going to be able to save it. 4 wide. No, 3 wide. Going into turn number 3 and 4. Brad Newman, middle to top. Just absolutely beautiful block by the number 1 machine to stop the momentum. Put himself in a position to take over that lead.
Champions of last year starting to show their strengths as now Brad Newman throws the block on Matt Danson, pulls from the middle lane to the inside of the double yellow line. Danson's got to check up. Micklemore does as well. Hot there, look at Davo on the outside, finally on his own. The 3-1-1 with Newman pulling on the other field back straightaway. They're going to swallow him up. He got too far ahead down the back straightaway. They're going after him there, Dylan.
Yeah, going after them indeed. Is look at that top side. They are the most organized. They are in tune with each other. All the way up by that outside wall, you can see them all doing a little bit of a conga line. You got 2, 3, single file wide, all the way around this beautiful 2.5-mile racetrack. But it's Dave Oljanczak leading the way with Keith Hackney all over his back bumper.
No friends on the bottom, even if he's on the inside lane, waiting for someone about 4 or 5 trucks ahead on the top. Now Brad Newman gives him a shot in the center tailgate. He says, I'll help you out. Danson will give him a push. But all the while, the outside lane now showing the momentum, Dylan, as they work into turn 3. Dave O is gone. He leads the cavalry up on the outside as the conductor into 3.
Yeah, and this is what I was talking about. It's going to get a little bit racy here now that we are with 52 laps to go here in the final stage of the first race of the season in this 17-race format, as the top lane has boot, scoot, and boogied all the way to the front. Single file first 6 trucks. Then you finally get down to your double file wide with top rear in Bad Brad leading that inside lane.
A little Brooks and Dunn there, for sure. Down that back straightaway.
I may be 29, but I know some good old music when I need to know.
Dave O Hackney right now working on the outside lane. Got Winner now. Remember winner of the Xfinity Series race on Tuesday night. By the way, the archive to that race is available on Highline. Check this race live. Check out the archives from previous races and more. I encourage you to look at preseason showdown from last Tuesday and Thursday. Those were wild races, but now they're up against the time. Not only the laps are winding down, the clock, the sim time is running out. 50 to go, halfway home. 50 down, 50 remaining, and the clock is down to 48 minutes and 30 seconds left as the leader is Dave O on the back straightaway there, Dylan.
Yeah, the Highline really putting the name to the test. Highline is proving to prevail. They know where to put the truck, and one thing that is different about a lot of the truck in the Xfinity Car West, the right rear quarter panel is definitely what you want to have up towards that outside wall. If you get a truck to the right side of that truck, the side draft, the effect of the side draft on that right rear quarter panel is definitely going to pull you back. So being up there on that high side around the outside wall to not letting another truck get on your outside, textbook move. But you know, something that just got brought up, Wes, is that inside line is like kind of non-existent. They're not really trying to push themselves up there towards the front.
Joshua Houghton right there, even after having some damage from earlier. Look at him push and stay locked on the inside on his own. What a move. But I'm telling you though, Dylan, look at what a difference. You know, hey, Nigel, let's bring you into the mix. You called Xfinity with me on Tuesday nights as well. We're noticing the outside push is working more than the inside lane. Why do you feel that is right now as we close in on 48 to go, sir?
I think it's just that outside's got more momentum. There's more cars in that line at the moment. I just had a bit of a count before. There's 19 cars, 18 cars in that thing. As we said, the inside lane there with Brad Newman and Matt Danson. They're starting to work together. I'm not sure what's going to happen here because these guys out the front would be using a little bit more fuel than the rest of the field as well. So we've still got 48 to go, guys. So we're still going to have pit stops. So we might see green flag pit stops here yet, which will throw everything out the window.
This outside lane is a single file train, but it's working up top. I know that Dean Hopton, our producer, is exhausted with Daytona. He's covered a lot of Daytona races with me on other leagues as well, besides Australian NASCAR. But I will say this, and he knows this, Dylan, a lot of the races were boring. They were on the bottom. It was cookie cutter, down to the inside, catfishing, double yellow line. I'm loving this outside lane. I'm loving how they're using the top shelf, and they're making it work here. Great racing going into turn 3.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, just like Nigel said, 18, 17, 18, 19 trucks on that outside, all in perfect unison. That is something that you don't see down on that inside lane there, Wes. There's a lot of gaps between a lot of those trucks down on that inside lane. Everybody on that outside lane, though, Wes, working together fabulously. You can see one truck, maybe two, in the middle sucker, in the sucker hole. Ended up getting back up there to the top lane. Is now Hackney down to the inside. He's going to drop down. He's going to take up, and he jumps back up in front of Dave Oljanczak as new race leader, the number 6 of Keith Hackney.
I am loving this. How about the USA, guys? I know it's an Australian series, but props to Keith Hackney from Georgia, Dave O from the States as well, where we're at, getting up early in the morning, okay? We're getting up early in the morning to call these races for these Aussie mates and mateys. They're racing with these Aussie mates and mateys. Listen, there's a commitment there, Dylan. There's a commitment from these guys to get up and race with these other guys across the world in Aussie land, and they're showing their prowess. Hackney, Davo, Winner, Houghton. Now a Ford jumps into the mix. It was about to be 4 Toyotas with Dinsley in the top 5. By the way, Dinsley again, stage 2 winner, going on to the back straightaway.
Yeah, I don't know about you, Wes, but I've been up since 10 a.m. Wednesday morning. Every time we get ready to do one of these races here, I always stay up because I know if I go to sleep, I'm not going to be able to wake back up. I already made that mistake with daylight savings, you know, being different from Australia and everything. I don't want to come in halfway through the race, so I just end up staying awake, especially whenever, you know, we jump forward. Just springtime. I stay awake for the races, so can't wait to see what the rest of these races play out as one truck stuck in the sucker hole down there in the middle.
Dylan, this is a great segue, man. This is the reason why you need to hit that like, subscribe, and the bell for Highline. Because when you do that, you will wake up from your innocent slumber, giving you a notification to let you know. Now, did I go to bed after last night? Yes, I surely did. Look at this angle. I'm loving this. It looks like a cyclone in the middle of the track.
As we look on board, Brad Newman still leading that inside lane down on the inside, but it's still Keith Hackney up there towards the front as the Cyclone gets away from the racetrack. The exploding trees that everybody was experiencing down in Florida, they are gone. Nice sunny days here. No more snow on the ground, no more nothing. We're definitely doing what we need to do as we have 43 laps to go here at Daytona.
The sim time is down and running out quickly, down to 42 minutes. Okay, 42 laps to go at the line. 42 minutes. That is a lap a minute. Can Nigel, back down to you for a CT Electrical Pit Report. Can they go and complete the distance on time with 42 laps to go, 42 minutes, 10 seconds left, and the clock ticking down?
I think they're allowed to have one caution in that there to still make it to the end. There's one point I will going to make, though, that we do have to pit again. There is going to be green flag pit stops if we do go green. Now, the thing is I'm looking at the moment is that even if we have a yellow, we know now that these trucks out in front with Hackney and Davo, super fast, they really are dialed in now. Does the rest of the field say, if we get in front of those guys, let's block them and do not let them out? Is that a strategy these teams are thinking of? What do you boys think?
I think they got to split them up. Not block, but split them up. They really got to split up the top 4, especially the 2 Nitro guys leading the front of this pack, but definitely got to split them up. Another thing that I'm going to be paying attention to, Wes, that we've not seen yet, which is the green flag pit stops, but how much radio chatter are you going to hear over the radio? This is more of a question for Nige, but trying to get everybody lined up to where we're all single file, so that way nobody is left out on that high side and just can't get into pit lane.
Yeah, very true.
I think you'll start seeing pit stops in the next 10 laps.
Because right now, I mean, you're seeing Hackney and Dave-O just kind of go from the top to the bottom, and I think that's kind of a strategic move if you think about it, Wes. They're using both of their trucks to kind of keep the third and fourth row side by side, so that way nobody really gets a big enough run. Yeah, they help out Ethan Winter, then they'll drop down low and help out Brad Newman. We see it time and time again with the NASCAR Cup Series, the O'Reilly Series, and the Craftsman Truck Series. So a lot of bit of a give and take. Okay, let's keep these next two rows side by side. We can stay the way that we're doing it, but prime example right here. They drop down low and look at the run that Brad Newman gets. They're going to go right back up to that high side.
Oval. Here they come down the line. Hackney now with Dave-O to the inside with Brad Newman and Dawson. And how about the champions of last year? Brad Newman, the Lob Sim Sport champion for Xfinity and Truck. And Matt Danson, the Australian NASCAR champion. And remember, this year, the season champions, runner-ups, and down in the line in the points will be the competitors for the back-to-back 5-race series that will be held for the Australian NASCAR Championships in November and December. Look at this now as Holdsworth falling back. Leaders thunder by as they come to the line with under 40 to go, less than 100 miles to go here in Daytona, Dylan.
Beautiful, beautiful moves there, getting around the lap traffic of Jason Holdsworth. But Newman, he's the only person that has been able to keep up with these two Nitro drivers. And if he has wants any shot of getting the race win here tonight, Wes, I think they really have to split up the two Americans of Dave-O and Keith Hackney. But
they need to break up the USA bunch. I keep hearing they got to break them up there, Dylan, because Hackney and Dave-O, boy, they're in their own little world, and they're making it work. It's like, I mean, I don't want to use that Olympic flair, but the Olympics are popular right now in the world today, right? It's Team USA and Team Australia going at it right now. And Team USA is trying to go for the gold.
You know, now that I think about it, Wes, if they do split them up, you put Dave-O on the inside and Keith Hackney on the outside, do you want to be pushed by Keith Hackney or Dave-O? Or do you want to push, or do you want them to push you? It's all clean air. I mean, obviously we see what they're doing in clean air.
Dylan, and here's another thing that comes to my mind. When is Hackney and Dave-O going to get greedy? You know, we both know the personalities of these guys, right? They're winners. When will somebody slip up? Who's going to make a move? When is Dave-O going to say, okay, I'm done pushing you, Hackney, or vice versa? And could that be when some Aussie will be able to take advantage of that? Coming down to the line, and look at them now, Newman and Danson trying to find a way to dance around Team USA, Hackney and Dave-O going to 3.
Yeah, I think that was a little bit of I think that was just like a little bit of a miscommunication going down the backstretch. Not sure if they thought that the lap traffic coming out of pit lane was going to come out. Keith Hackney set the fastest lap? Oh my goodness. Oh.
He just turned the fastest lap of the race on lap number 65. 48.254 seconds.
Oh, we are definitely getting the rest of these laps turned in, even with 35 laps to go and a pit stop. Like Nigel said earlier with the pit road report, we are able to have at least one caution. If we have more than one, it's really going to be time is not going to be on our side. And, you know, we got a little bit of a breakaway, and look how much of a gap these drivers have gotten into that line to get these green flag pit stops, and once they lined up, they checked up them deuces like Tyreek Hill on the Miami Dolphins, and said, "Peace out, Girl Scout. I'm out of here."
From what I'm saying,
in the lead, Dave-O. Oh, go ahead, Nigel. I'm sorry, buddy. Go ahead.
No. What I was going to say is, looking from pit lane here at the moment, is you've got an unorganised batch of cars behind these top 10 here in the front. They're lapping close to a full second faster than the whole field at the moment. So these guys at the back here, that's probably around from position 10 all the way back to 22, they really need to form a line here and work together a little bit, because at the moment, that those being so unorganised, they're losing the pack very, very quickly.
Interesting indeed.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry, Wes.
I was just going to say, Nigel's right. We got, 8 trucks now pulling away from the other pack. You're seeing it. Look at this. Nose to tail. Hackney all the way to Bleakley. There they are. The 8 trucks in line down the back straightaway to the inside.
I would assume Brad and everybody's going to be talking to each other. Okay, where's everybody going to go whenever we go into pit lane? Who's going to go all the way down to the inside wall? Who's going to be in the middle? Who's going to be all the way by the grass? They got to stagger themselves going into pit lane. They don't want to run over each other, because they still going to go around one more time. I know gas has to be stretching a little bit thin, especially for the top 2. They're full of throttle all the way around the racetrack. Dave-O will blip his throttle just a little bit to get off the rear bumper. You see it there going out of turns number 1 and 2. But by the time he gets off of turn 2, he is right back on that back bumper of the number 6. Big shot.
Quickly there, Wesley, before you jump in. At the moment, this group at the back here now, Jason Holdsworth has had the most damage fixed on a car tonight. I think he was up to 8 minutes worth of damage that's been fixed. He's been able to keep up with. He's able to keep up with this pack at the moment. They really need to. There's even cars sitting in that outside line. They all really need to get together, work together, all get bumper to bumper to catch this pack in front. The way it's heading at the moment, they are not going to catch this group in front if it stays green.
And remember, if we continue to stay green like Dylan and Nigel were just reporting on, closing on 30 laps to go, which will be 75 miles remaining in this race. When they do come down pit road, it's going to be green flag pit stop. You think they're already separated enough, Dylan? When they come down pit road, it's really going to separate everybody in the pack. And can I add something? If you're in that second pack, if you see the front 8 come down pit road, you're not thinking straight if you don't come down with them. Because if you don't, you're going to put yourself in a world of hurt. And we're already seeing some pull onto pit road right now. This is pretty damn smart, might I add.
Yeah, look at them all scatter. Oh, look like somebody into the grass goes one of the trucks. Everybody trying to form a nice single file line going into pit lane. Getting in, getting out. You got to get back to your partners. Hopefully, I know of one driver going to have a drive-through penalty for going through the grass, coming through the pit road. But this is where you're going to make or break. This is the money stop. This is where your team's going to do this is where your crew is going to win or lose your race here, as they're going to stay out one more lap for the front 8. But Wes, what a beautiful job by the second pack to get in and out of pit road as cleanly as possible.
Undercut. Nigel, undercut for those guys that came in, taking advantage of them front runners, aren't they? Could this be good for the finish?
I think they'll go another lap.
Nigel, I think I'm going to have to agree with you. They're going to want to get around all this lap traffic nice and clear, but then go into pit lane, because right where they came out at, that's not a good spot for a lot of these drivers. One more lap for this top 8 on the leaderboard.
They'll stay out there. Whoa, push to hold on, Hackney. Dave-O with a push to the 6. It might have been because there was some traffic up ahead. Maybe they were worried about that truck pulling up on the banking. He stays to the inside. Kudos to that driver. And the leaders work now. Bolts on to the back straightaway. Under 30 to go here in Daytona. The clock ticks down. There's 30 minutes and 30 seconds left on the sim time.
Somebody hit the fence really bad. Yeah, I seen the fender rolling down the racetrack and looked like rust up in the outside wall. Dave-O going into pit lane. Top group in now. This is where you make or break your race right here, everybody.
Guys, at the moment, this is where that group that pitted the lap before, they really need to get together. This is where they could honestly catch some time up while they're down pit road. If these guys even make a mistake on the way out, they can capitalise straight away. But unless they all get lined up together, the advantage still won't be there.
Right side tires for the 6 of Keith Hackney. Blaine Densley setting the fastest lap as of right now. Only him and Tom Freer are the two. Here comes Keith Hackney. They're all back out. Dave-O and Keith Hackney still in front of one another.
Stops being made and green flag pit stops at that. And Keith Hackney, Dave-O, Brad Newman, Matt Danson, this was flawless. They came down pit road together. They exit together. And by God almighty, they're in the lead still together in turn number 3, Dylan.
Such a beautiful pit entry, pit exit for these two drivers. I know Keith Hackney took 2 tires onto that last pit stop. 2 right sides for the number 6. Dave-O probably did the exact same thing. And I don't know about you, Wes, but these two drivers are pulling away, absolutely pulling away from the next two.
Our producer says to ban us from the league. Oh. Team USA. By the way, sim time in real life, 5:37 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time in North Carolina, Indiana, Georgia. Dave-O, I'm not sure where Dave-O's from. Is it Chicago? Ain't he from Chicago, Dylan?
That I am not 100% sure. I've talked to Dave-O a little bit here and there whenever we're on the in Discord together racing on the official side of things, but still doing an immaculate job at leading the front two, giving a little bit of room to Keith Hackney Jr., but that pack of 4 is slowly catching the top 2. Now Newman's got
them. They're up there, by the way. Yes, sir.
Now Newman's got a choice to make. Does he take his run to the outside, or does he just stay in line and try to eye up a run on that final lap to be a Kevin Harvick and become the closer?
Keep an eye on Brad Newman. Newman, Danson, Blakely, and Barber leading that second pack. And while this goes on, look at now what's going on. Hackney and Dave-O, they're getting greedy. They pushed out a line, and when they did, they lost that draft. Here they come. Under 25 to go. They're on the high side. Look at this. Oh, no.
What happened to Dave-O, though? Dave-O lost a lot of time. Not sure what happened. Oh no, now they're really going to be looking for a caution. Yeah, I don't know if I like that move. I really don't know. I honestly think Keith Hackney and Davo should have just stayed on the bottom. Let them go around on the outside. If they got all four of them around, let them fall in line. Yeah, stay on the inside. Let them pass around on the outside and come around. But new race leader for the first time tonight. Last year's champion, Brad Newman, leading his first laps of the race here tonight at Daytona International Speedway. Wes, we have seen it all.
On the final 50 miles of this one. Yeah, man, I'm speechless now. What we see now, the smart thing to be is for Hackney and Davo to try to, hook back up, get in the line and get formed and try to run down these trucks. But now, there it is. They got a pack there helping them now with Micklemore and Curtis. So they just gotta try to find a way to get in line, hit nose to tail, be happy with who's in front, and try to get back up there. Still got plenty of time to do so. There's still 21 laps to go in this race.
Is this a strategy call, guys?
I mean,
is this a strategy call that all the Nitro guys together again? You've got Josh Micklemore back there, the Season 1 champion. Maybe they're going back to help him to get into the front. Maybe we'll see in the next 21 laps.
I was just getting ready to say exactly what Nigel said. What a coincidence. Davo and Keith Hackney dropped back for two fellow Nitro drivers. Josh Micklemore, like they said, Season 1 champion Josh Micklemore, and then Riley Curtis bringing him on up. He was so close to making the Final Four, just didn't get there with the final race. But looking at it now, you see the gap between fourth and, it's between fifth and fourth. Just a little bit of time, but I believe if these four Nitro drivers can stay in line and stay hooked up like they have been all race long, we're going to have an 8-car race to the finish.
Guys, just a quick one there for you guys to keep an eye on as well, is that the four chasing cars is actually 0.6 faster than the pack in front at the moment.
Oh my goodness.
More 48.96 now. He's the fastest man on the track of that 31. Third truck in line of that second group. And by the way, lap after lap, they're running them down. Coming to the line, under 20 to go, 19 remaining, 50 miles left in this race here in Daytona.
I honestly feel like, Wes, Keith and Davo is sitting there watching the broadcast, like listening to the broadcast, and they heard me say they need a caution. Keith Hackney said, "Hold my root beer. I'm going to show you what I can do." And within 3 laps, they're back on the back bumper of that lap truck. Do they go high? Yes, he's going high.
We go
to the high side.
You knew it was going to happen. They went to the outside in the race earlier, and here they come back. New dogs, same tricks. Same dogs, same tricks again, with Newman up in front on the bottom. But now they might have a fight here. 18 to go. Lap traffic up ahead. Look at Hackney and Davo. He's going to be right there up the bank in 31 degrees on Brad Newman going into turn 1.
Oh, I thought I was going to see Brad Newman try to take off that run on the outside. Riley Curtis falling back off those top 3. Keith Hackney being a big brother in this sport. He may be a rookie, but he's giving all the room down to the veterans, down to the inside. I'm going to let Brad and Newman be able to get around to that lap traffic. Riley Curtis right back up to the pack of other 3 Nitro racers. But now we got USA versus Aus. 2 USA drivers, 4 USA's in the server. Total 2 in the booth, 2 on the track. Who you got? Is it going to be the inside or is it going to be the outside with 17 less to go?
Minute. Look at this now. up on the top side, and you got a couple of Canadians. You got a couple of Aussie drivers that are trying to also run, and that's Team Nitro. So there's Nitro up on the high side. Not only is it USA and Aussie drivers, but they're also teammates. Team Nitro outside lane, Hackney outside, coming back to the lead, battling the Little Z Sports entry. Brad Newman, Matt Danson, last year's champions, to the line. 16 to go, sim time. Closing in on 20 minutes and 25 seconds left.
Oh, I think, honestly, if they can get Riley Curtis clear of that number one machine, I could see them moving down to the inside lane. And obviously, once they move down to that inside lane, they're going to start paying attention to the runs that they're going to be able to get off of the number one machine. But now, everybody going to follow suit. And there they go, down to the inside, top four, all Nitro. Down to the inside, they're going to use it to their advantage. And then once Brad eyes up a run, he's going to bounce out to the outside. I say 3 of those Nitro drivers are going to be able to get to the outside, if not all 4, to block that run for Brad Newman.
It's going to jump on the line, though. You're exactly right. Here they come. By the way, thanks again to Team Nitro, helping you out with all of the setups you need, whether it's, of course, oval setups or Cup, Xfinity, now known as O'Reilly, and Truck. Nitro Racing. Join the garage, Nitro Racing, for more information. And look at these Nitro trucks. 1, 2, 3, 4, coming out of turn 4 to the line. 14 to go.
What Johnny Taylor has done with these truck setups for the past, I don't know, Nigel, 2-3 seasons, have seen absolute growth. I run them personally, not this season due to me not being on this service a lot, but what Johnny Taylor has been doing with these truck setups, helping everybody each and every single week with beautiful quality setups. He's always there. If you ever need any questions, you can ask Johnny Taylor, as he can get you set up with a time to get out there on the track. But you can see it here. Everybody's single file, and everybody's kind of wondering, when do I want to make the move? How far back can I be? Do I have somebody to go with me on that outside? I can see Newman trying to make that move on the outside and Danson going with him. But it's all going to be coming down to if the top 4 are going to let Brad Newman get that run to the outside. Brad Newman's helmet reminds me of Avatar, the TV show. Has anybody ever seen the animated cartoon of Avatar?
I mean,
the kid with the blue arrow going down his forehead.
Yeah. Well, what does that say? Walk it like I talk it. Is that what it says on the back of the tailgate of Riley Curtis's truck?
Yeah, it says walk talk. Yeah.
Walk it like I talk it. Walk it like I talk it. To the line. 12 to go here in Daytona, and they are single file. There's the front runner. I don't know if you can show up the track map if you can or not, but the track map would be a great description, because if you look on the track map when it pops up on the upper right of your screen, you will see, Dylan, that there is packs of racing everywhere. They're scattered all over the place. This big wad of trucks for the lead is probably the biggest pack that is staying locked with each other. There it is. Look up top right. Besides the pack for 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th on back, entering turn number 2. And they're a half a lap behind the front runners, now exiting 4, coming to the line for 11 to go.
Yeah, these front 6 or front 7 cars as of right now, kind of in tune, but kind of not in tune. They're not as close as they once were, but able to keep enough distance to keep up the pressure on a lot of these drivers. The win can come from anybody in this top 7, dreading a caution, give or take a caution coming out, but I think that right there would be the best time for a lot of these drivers to get these top 7 kind of split up. They can't be in a row of cars anymore, but I mean, just absolutely action-packed racing all the way through from lap 1 to lap 90 so far. So 90 laps, couple cautions, couple stages, couple of zigs instead of zags when they should have zagged instead of zigged. But still, letting the bald eagles fly out here at Daytona.
10 laps to go. That is 25 miles remaining in this race. Down the back straightaway. Hackney, Dave-O. And the drivers of Nitro still right there, 3rd, 4th, 5th in line. And yes, Newman, Danson, Blakely, they've made it now about 8 or 9 trucks fighting it out for the finish of this race. Coming to the line here with 9 to go.
I'm going to tune in for a second there, Wesley, and as well there, Dylan. Sorry, apologies. I mean, I said I've been bored with Daytona for a while, and I have. But tonight's strategy between teammates is showing you how Daytona can be fun. I've not seen people right up the outside line there stick together, choose that path, choose how to get some gain, and work together, drop back, as we saw earlier, give up the lead of the race, but then hook up with your teammates, and then all of a sudden you're back in it and you're in the lead of the race. This is what Daytona is about, and unfortunately I haven't seen that for the last month.
You're exactly right. Dead on it. I mean, I'll be honest with you, Dylan, when we were talking about coming back to Daytona tonight, last night, Dean was like, oh, my God, I'm tired. This is actually a send-off. This has been entertaining.
I think some of the NASCAR Cup Series drivers that actually race in real life should come back and watch this broadcast to see how teammates really do work. I mean, you really see what teamwork is all about. I mean, you watch Hackney and Oljanzak drop back about, I don't know, tri-oval worth of trucks, pick up 2 more teammates, and drive back. It was almost a full second quicker than what they were. And, I mean, just complete, total team unison all the way in and through. I mean, same with Brad Newman. He's doing what he can to keep up with these Nitro trucks, but him with Danson and Densley, they're going to need everything to get around these top 4.
Coming to the line. It'll be 6 laps to go. Nigel, back down to you. Do these drivers got what they need? Can they go the distance? Nobody's freaking out or thinking they got to stretch fuel or anything?
I think they'll have enough fuel to get to the end now. I think there won't be an issue at all. If this goes even yellow, I don't think there'll be an issue. I think maybe 1 or 2 green-white checkers, but I don't see us getting to a third. So I think these guys will be right to the end.
Sim time, 6 remaining at the line. 12 and a half minutes left in sim time as Dave-O now leads them down in that second spot. Josh Micklemore right behind him for Team Nitro. It's still Team Nitro. It's teammates working together. But Dylan, the $1 million sim question I ask is, when do teammates, friends become frenemies? When do they want it all for themselves and pull out a line? Caution! Oh, we got a caution! Yellow flag will fly. Lavelle up against the fence. Trent Lavelle in trouble. The CT Electrical sponsored entry number 67. And the caution is out. This changes everything with 5 to go coming to the line.
Oh, that is definitely not what those front 7 wanted to see. This is going to be... Oh, man, we're going to take a nice little replay here, see what happened. Tom Freer comes down to 38. Shane Bowen comes down as well. I think Tom Freer just kind of misread everything. Trent Lavelle makes that little hop skip to the right. Tom Freer read it, tried to give him a push, got into Shane Bowen. Shane Bowen comes down, gets into Trent Lavelle in shades like last season. Trent Lavelle, right place, wrong time, is getting caught up in some accidents, always running very strong. Want to give a big shout out to Trent Lavelle and his company, CT Electrical.
And how about Gary Wellman, the green 45? Nowhere to go for him either, as he got tagged from the back after all that happened. Beautiful looking wrap job. If there was a driver's wrap job that I'd say would be the winner, it would probably be that truck right there. I love the lightning. I love just the wrap job of the way that truck was designed for sure. There it is again, contact, and look at Gary Wellman in the 45 spinning down there, nowhere to go. Tom Freer, bicycles, rear end tires in the air, and look at the hit for Trent Lavelle into the fence. Wow, it was electrifying. It's electrifying, a little grease lightning, baby. Yeah.
You know, not gonna lie. That truck reminds me of Jeff Burton's number 99 Exide car.
Kind
With
of.
lightning bolts on it, and a little bit more purple, and then kerpow.
Freer thought he could stick it in the middle like the part of the Red Sea. Did you see that? He went
Just a
up
good old
the drain
boy.
ditch. We gotta go on forward, Mario, trying to drop like Wario. Watch this again, guys. Stay with it, Dylan. Stay with it, Dean. In the cockpit. Watch this the whole time. Don't go nowhere.
Last I knew, we were on NASCAR. I didn't know we switched over to Dukes of Hazzard.
Stay with it. Stay with it. Watch this.
You know, last Thursday, Wes, we see somebody take off on the drainage ditch, and they went right smack dab into the outside wall. But Tom Freer, he's a driver, and he was able to keep it off of the inside wall, in the outside wall.
It reports anybody coming in for a late pit stop for a finish, Nigel. Down to you. Pit report presented by CT Electrical, sir.
I don't think so, but if we're talking about grease lightning, guys, all these cars better shape up because we need a green flag. That's about as much as all we need to get through to this finish.
Oh, you better shape up.
All right, well.
Oh, my God. Here we go with the songisms again. Oh. Hey, Dylan, I don't know if you watched the race on Xfinity on Tuesday from Daytona, but me and Nigel literally had like a song battle the last 15 laps of the race. The racing was excited at the end, and we were battling each other with the pantomiming of music and seeing if I could guess his song, he could guess my song, and definitely he's doing it again tonight, even from the pit lane.
Well, as it sits right now, nothing else matters until we get to the 100 laps. But now that everybody's checked back up, Wes, a driver from 10th can win this race.
Yeah, and by the way, they're going to be, 2 to go at the line. They're still on the regular scheduled distance, so it'll be 2 laps to go, and there is still 7 minutes and 15 seconds remaining. So we'll see what happens, Dylan. And I'll be honest, dude, listen, I'm going to steal Mike Joy's line. If you're on the lead lap, you're up in this pack, you are in it to win it.
Oh, 100%. There's no diggity about it. Everybody that is up in the lead lap is going to be able to get the race win here tonight. It could come from 14th position. Get a nice good run up the outside, in the middle, wherever the case may be. If the stars align, you can be up there where you need to be. You got to be shining bright like a diamond.
He's definitely using some.
I have dropped.
He's using some rap.
So
he's using some rap. I mean, I don't listen to that stuff, but I'm catching on to it.
I did Metallica. Nothing else matters.
Yeah.
No diggity. And shine bright like a diamond.
You're really promoting P. Diddy? Are you serious?
No.
Oh my God! All right, let's go back to green. Well, I mean, obviously,
I mean, we
He's a
can do the
monster.
Cupid Shuffle.
Yeah, there you go. Hey, let's do it. Who's going to win the Giddy Up Challenge up the banking? How about that? Keith Hackney, Dave-O, Josh
Bartender, I
Bicklemore,
need another
Riley
shot of
Curtis.
whiskey. Here we go. 2 laps to go. Pace truck. Gonna dive down into pit lane one last time.
Guys, I'm going to
Green
tell you,
flag.
Brad Newman up 23 spots in the top 5. Keep an eye on the 1. It's all about the restart here as we come to green. 2 to go.
Oh, beautiful restart by those top 4. Look at that. Already back in unison. They are single file for the top 4. Does anybody have anything on the top shelf to get around these top 4 drivers of Nitro?
In the saddle again. Front 2, Team USA. Hackney, Dave-O, and here comes Bicklemore and Curtis. Team Nitro still in the top 4 as they work the back straightaway. Newman on the bottom, dancing up top, door to door. Will the champions prevail? Here they come, 4 trucks out of the line, pulling from anyone else. They come out of turn number 4. It's going to come down to it. They're going to make it. Dylan McDonald, white flag to go. Last lap here in Daytona.
Race is going to end under regulation. No caution's going to be coming out. They need to get a little bit of a foot loose going down in turns number 1 and 2. Everybody single file. Does anybody have what it takes to split these up? They're rolling around the bend. They hear the trains are coming, but here they come. Brad Newman goes to the outside, but is it going to be enough? He's got no help. He's on the board. He's on the door of Riley Curtis, but it's all the top 3 as of right now.
Dave. Oh, final time. Hackney inside, looking outside. Look at now, Bicklemore. Will he pull out a line? Team Nitro will. 1, 2, and 3. Team USA over Australia. Keith Hackney wins here in Daytona. The Georgia boy, the stage 1 winner, gets it done and wins round 1 of the season. Remember, by the way, he's not in the playoffs. He's only the first winner of the season. And sim time down to 3.5 minutes after an hour, 51 minute, 15-second run. Keith Hackney and Team Nitro, teammates Dylan, 1, 2, and 3, but Team USA prevailing. Let's look at this now. Dave-O burning it down, Hackney burning it down. They're going to go in the grass.
That's a $250,000 fine for Keith Hackney for going through the grass.
Real life it is.
As Cletus McFarland, 6 laps into the truck race, has to pay that $250,000 fine.
They're really strict on that. If you mess up the grass, it's okay, but if you mess up the painting jobs on it, that's a different deal. So,
looking at the official results here on the screen is going to be Keith Hackney with the race win, Dave Olenjeks with second, Josh Bicklemore in third, Riley Curtis in fourth. Top 4 Nitro Racing. Fifth is going to be Brad Newman. Sixth will be Chris Bleakley, Matt Danson in the 7th. 8th is going to be Blaine Densley. 9th is going to be Kute Dow. And rounding out your top 10 is going to be Ryan Barber.
11th will find Fitzroy Beaumont, and up and down day for him. Aaron Dorman will finish in 12th. Tyler Williams 13th. Joshua Houghton and Gary Wellman with a top 15. Good way to bounce back in the green 45 after the most recent accident. The Chooch, Brandon Griffiths will finish in 16th. Troy Davidson, Scott Rankin, Angus Lawford, Brian Blundell, your top 20 in Daytona.
21st will be Jamie Davis, one name that we haven't talked about all night. Tom Freer in 22nd. 23rd is going to be Shane Bowen. 24th is going to be Timo Blundell. 25th, Kelvin Clark. 26th, David Douglas, Double D. 27th, Chris Finley. 28th is going to be David Lawler. 29th is going to be Jared Gilbert. And running out your top 30 is going to be Jason Holdsworth.
31st, you'll find Trent Lavelle. By the way, thanks for him sponsoring the CT Electrical Series for the Australian NASCAR Truck Series this year. Griffin Gardner as well, 32nd. Ross Armour is 33rd. Ethan Winter, the Daytona Xfinity Series winner Tuesday night, will finish in the top 35 along with Brad Wright, Ben Faulkner, Sam Chapman, Tom Pritchard, Jacob O'Reilly, and the all-time starter of Australian NASCAR, Andy Barber, will be credited with 40th position, career start 177 tonight. There were 12 lead changes amongst 8 drivers, 8 cautions for 24 laps at the end of 250 miles, 100 laps. The hard charger is Brandon Chooch Griffiths from Project 36, up 24 spots. Other notable drivers and information includes Keith Hackney leading 45 of the 100 laps for Nitro. Keith Hackney, fastest man on the racetrack, and Shane Moen, when it all started for Cobalt, was the fast qualifier.
That and more are going to be coming up here shortly after we get in our quick commercial break here. We'll have the top 3 in the broadcast booth for us. But before we get there, let's take another look from our sponsors here at the Australian NASCAR Truck Series.
Check off and
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
And we are back here with the driver interviews. Going to start off with the winner of tonight's race. That's going to be Keith Hackney, the number 6. Keith, what a dominating performance here tonight. Started back a little bit, but you were able to come away with the stage win here tonight. Stage 2, you kind of you rode around just a little bit, and then stage 3, you really put on the pressure, getting all your teammates together there towards the end. What all needed to happen to go right that did, and what little mistake happened there towards the end to kind of put you back there a little bit?
Don't wreck for one, and don't get caught up in everybody else's stuff. But we had a game plan. Like last week in the practice race, we showed what we could do, and just getting the right, everybody in line or the right personnel together, and just try to make your moves. And me and Dave, I just sort of went with him if he got ahead of me, or and vice versa. So, and then we just tried to get everybody together. We kept on trying to see where everybody was at, where we needed to go, and like I said, just try to pull everybody. If we was coming from the rear, and coming up there to, around the top side, like, hey, we're coming. If you can tuck in behind us or get in front of us, or whatever we need to do, just try to get everybody in position to do what we did at the end. And we couldn't really do that in the first 2 stages, just because everybody was so tight, and 776 cautions and stuff like that. So, but I knew if we got some green flag laps, and if we could get some separation, it was honestly, it was going to be nasty. I mean, we did it last week in 14 laps. So yeah, we just want to see what we could do on a full run.
Hey, Keith, I got to ask you two-part questions here, my friend. Congratulations. Part one, we got to get our butts out of bed at 3:30, 3:45 to be, wipe our face off, come alive, be on the air alive with these Aussies at nighttime. It's morning for us, early in the morning. How do you get prepped? And secondly, what was your thoughts of the outside lane working as good as it did with you and Dave-O and Team Nitro for that matter, where it seemed like last week in races of past, you had to stay locked to the bottom of the racetrack on the inside double yellow line?
Part one, I'm a kind of a night person anyways. We've been sort of staying up late and racing and doing stuff. So this was almost like it was the norm for myself. I think for Dave too, because he stays up with me as well.
Me too.
Oh yeah, and other than that, I did take a nap for like an hour before this race, and then I thought I missed it. I asked Jason, I thought I missed it, and he was like, "No, you didn't." I was like, "Okay." Part two, I don't know. We just we didn't really run the top last week, but at the same time, when we had a few different faces in here tonight, and especially with Dave being right there with us, I don't know. I feel like we was very versatile, and like we could run anywhere we needed to run, and if you know how to draft, and I mean that's all you need. A lot of people, it's hard. They can't, and they don't have all those abilities just yet. But I think once you have a chemistry with someone, you're good to go.
All right. Well, Mr. Keith, it's been a pleasure out here watching you on this racetrack, getting to know you in the Nitro Discord, watching you put up the wins week in and week out. But if there's anybody that you'd like to give a shout out to, and hopefully you get to see the Miss Piggy scheme come back out once again. But if there's anybody on that number 6 Nitro machine. Oh, yeah. Well, actually, before you go, we got to know what kind of plane is on the side of that number 6.
I'll be honest with you, I don't really know. We just we went with the military thing, I guess. Those kind of army, whatever. So it is Daytona. It is the Great American Race. So we had to do something else. And on top of that, Miss Piggy, she's wore out. She's just wore out. She I don't know.
You need Kermit the Frog here. Kermit will come join you.
Kermit is making.
I'm sorry, guys. That's an inside joke for another racing league that me and Dean broadcast. There's a driver named Kermit the Frog and Kermit and Miss Piggy, the relationship there. I'm sorry, Dylan.
Well, if you want Kermit will show up next week.
Oh.
Well, you heard it. You heard it here, folks. Kermit the Frog will be here next week. But Keith, congratulations on the race win here tonight. If there's anybody on that number 6 machine you'd like to give a shout out to, the floor is yours.
Yeah, man. Just everybody at Nitro Racing. Great people to work with. This and that. Tunnel Vision by Hackney, of course. Myself. Paints, pictures, whatever you need. Vision Detailing. TNL, Team No Love. That's my personal dirt team at one point, and just y'all for doing a great broadcast, amazing broadcast actually, and them for putting this on. And well, I mean, honestly, I gotta give a huge shout out to Dave too, because me and him was stuck together like glue the whole race. So shout out to them or him, and yeah, I'll see y'all next week.
That's going to be our race winner of Keith Hackney. Going to go ahead and move on to our second place finisher. That's going to be Dave-O in the 311. Dave, what a remarkable race. You were up against the wall. You were down low. You were in the middle. You were everywhere where your truck wanted to be. What was going through your mind when that final caution came out with 7 laps to go? You had 7 truck breakaway. Were you a little bit nervous coming to that restart, or were you guys just worried more about getting all 4 of you guys lined back up in a row?
Honestly, I was more worried about getting a green, white checkers, and we were all getting pretty tight on fuel with where we pit, and how much fuel we had left in the race. So really, it kind of expected to get that late race caution. They always seem to turn out that way. Wish we had stayed green, but we're able to get a good restart and actually get all four of us there lined up on the bottom and start moving right away.
Hey, by the way, Dean, we know his hometown now. Dave O is from Charleston, South Carolina. So put that in your updated announcer note itinerary. Dave, listen, did you have no other choice but to stay behind Hackney? I mean, I noticed that one time when you got up to the front, when Hackney passed you, it seemed like his truck led more in the front in the clean air. Was you more comfortable being behind him, pushing him, if you will, and why not push out a line to try to win the race at the end?
Well, throughout the race, Keith and I worked together a bunch on the super speedways and drafting tracks, and I just know, me pushing him, we're going to be just a bit faster than him pushing me, and just the way the connections worked out with the server, it definitely showed tonight. Coming to the line, I really couldn't see. I know Newman made a move on Riley there for fourth and sucked him around, and I didn't know if I was going to poke out to try and get Keith, if Josh would have stuck with Keith and rolled the bottom past me. Because I know Josh is in it for the points in that final championship again. More of a secure the second and, not do anything stupid and wreck ourselves across the line like bozos.
Yeah, well, you always got that. You definitely want to get a nice team photo there towards the end of the race. You were able to keep yourself calm, cool, and composed. But Mr. Davo, it's been a pleasure watching you come in here last week, represent Nitro well, coming in here tonight, getting a nice top 2 finish here tonight. If there's anybody on that number 311 car, if that you want to give a shout out to, the floor is yours.
Yeah, I got to give a shout out to Nitro Racing, everyone there. Johnny Taylor for building an awesome setup. The admins for putting the event on. You broadcasters for making it a great show to watch. And then sponsors on my car, modsquad.info, heatfinder.net, and BMK Logistics.
All right, that's going to be our second place finisher, Dave Oljanzek, in the number 311. Going to go ahead and move on to our final in third place finisher. That's going to be Josh Micklemore. Micklemore, you were out there thrift shopping just a little bit, trying to get some track position on out there, able to get where you needed to be. Did you find your grandpa's clothes? Or are you still out there trying to find some more track position to possibly get your first win here tonight at Daytona?
Yeah, we just trying to do the best we could after having a DNF the other night, Tuesday night. Really wanted to bake some good points tonight for this series. Have a good start for the series, Australian NASCAR Truck Series. Able to get a fair few points together in the stages, and then obviously finish it off well. So very happy with that.
Hey, Josh, Wesley here in the booth, man. Congratulations on a podium. I know you're a former champion of the Xfinity Tuesday Night Series. How different is running with these trucks and these competitors on the Thursday deal?
There's a lot of the same guys that race the Tuesday Night Series, and there's a lot of new guys coming in this series as well. So it's a bit of a mixed bag. I wouldn't say it's much easier or anything, but it's still much the same. It's a completely different car to drive as well. I actually prefer the Xfinity car myself, but it's still not an easy field to race against.
Yeah, definitely got to get yourself acquainted back with the truck, like he said. Big into the Xfinity car, but still a nice top 3 solid run here for the Adelaide, South Australia driver in P number 3. Can't wait to see what more you have to show for us later in the season. But Josh, if there's anybody else on that number 31 machine you'd like to give a shout out to, the floor is yours.
Yeah, just the whole Nitro team, Keith on the win, and just the communication between, especially us four, on that last restart was fantastic. So, well done, fellas, and well done for JT on the setup this week, and you guys for broadcasting, and everyone in the admin getting the year started. Thank you.
That's going to do it for our top 3 finishers here at Daytona International Speedway. 8 cautions totaling a total of 24 laps apiece, but racing all the way in and through the racetrack from first all the way down to 40th. You didn't miss any type of 3 wide, 2 wide, or even single file racing. Wes, any takeaways from Daytona International Speedway here tonight?
I mean, we're pretty much, resetting everything. Everything starts over, if you will. Final takes from tonight was, man, props to teammates working with each other. Props to teammates finding a way to make that outside lane work with each other as well. And when it was all said and done, racing against the clock, racing against themselves, I think it came down to an absolutely phenomenal finish. Congratulations to Team USA, Keith Hackney, Davo, Carolina, Georgia boys. Listen, and I'm nothing against the Aussie guys as well. I thought it was a phenomenal race. I thought there was a lot of strategy. I thought it was very unique, and obviously when it's all said and done, we're ready to see what goes on at a track next week at Echo Park Speedway, Atlanta, that the reconfiguration, the 28 degrees of banking, the 40 feet of width room going in the corners. You can't go 50, 60 feet wide in the corners like Daytona Talladega. You're going to be squeezed. You're going to be bunched up. If you try to go 3 or 4 wide, there will be consequences of that at Atlanta at Echo Park next week. And I think we're going to see another wild race. Set him up, Joe. Congrats to Team Nitro. And obviously, I'm looking forward to working with you in the booth all year, my friend. Thank you to CT Electrical for making that happen. And, of course, Jason, Nigel, Dean, everybody, Dylan, a fun night here to start the season. Let's get to Echo Park next week, buddy.
Absolutely. One more song reference for you before we end tonight's things. There was 40 men, but only one man stands alone as Keith Hackney takes away the first race of the season. But that's going to do it for myself and Wesley Allen in the broadcast booth, and Dean Biggles behind the camera work. Make sure you guys like, share, subscribe, and turn on all bell notifications so you guys don't miss anything on the Highline Network. But that's all for us up here in the broadcast booth. Make sure you guys take care. Brush your hair.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against